Tommy Raudonikis, one of Rugby League's most lovable larrikins, a playing career that spanned 15 years and a coaching career that introduced cattle dog into state of origin folklore. Tom Terrific is an icon of the greatest game of all. Roy Masters said on and off the field, Raudonikis was all heart and hustle. And after having the privilege of sitting down with the great man, it's hard to argue.
I didn't change the game. Look, I'm Tom Raudonikis. I can't change. And what you see is what you get.
We wouldn't want you to change.
Simple as that. And I think that's what attracts me to people. I'm straight down the line. They know what I say is straight, so I think I'm very lucky.
You've got a great ability to cut through and reach people and see things for how they are.
That's right. Well, see, if you aren't that way, people see through you. Footballers see through you. People see through you. And I think that's the secret to my success.
Everyone talks about how tough you are, but do you think you being honest and being genuine and having that ability to see through a lot of rubbish has been probably your greatest strength?
Yeah, that's right, but the thing is, I used to hate the opposition. Like they did something wrong to my family. And now I see these players play today, they pat each other on the head. Mate, we used to punch them, and I hated them. I hated every halfback who wore the number 7. And that's why I was able to play for Australia for 10 years. Only because I didn't want them beating me. It meant everything to me. Ooh, losing is sinful. Dreadful.
I can still see it affects you now. No one's taken the game like the scruff of the neck, the way you did. You changed the way we all approached it.
The game has changed. It's full-time professional. There's so many coaches, you know. But one thing about it, we had to get up every morning and go to work, come home, go to training, and be fathers and whatever. So we played in a great era, tough era. And blokes like Noel Kelly, wow, exceptional.
Tell me about some of the men you played alongside who really defined what it was to be fearless. I mean, from Wagga Wagga to Wests, you had the respect of those men around you. What were the men like in that era?
Well, they were great. Well, I went to West in '69, Noel Kelly. He came up to me after 2 weeks, reserve grade. He said, "You're in first grade." I said, "Mr. Kelly, I don't think I'm up to it." He said, "Son, go there now, take a photo of yourself, because in 10, 15 years, you're going to look just like me." And that's exactly what happened. And that's the way I approached it. Noel Kelly, players like that, players like John Donnelly, Western Suburbs. But the big bloke who I love very much, and I've got so much respect for him, the great Arthur Beetson. Fantastic footballer. These front rowers going around now wouldn't blow wind up his backside. Truly, Arthur Beetson was an absolute champion and a champion bloke. He was a great Aborigine and fantastic.
You had such an incredible rivalry, a legendary rivalry with Artie, but out of that came so much respect and ultimately a friendship.
Yeah.
In the days after you finished playing, where did you find the common ground? Was it that being competitive and men of honour?
Yeah, we did the, speaking circuit, which was very successful. And when we become very close, Arthur, actually, he used to live just up the road. He died a couple of streets up. He was out on the bike one morning, had a heart attack, and he died there. We actually Trish heard the ambulance, and it was devastating. But we become very, very close, and we had such a good time, you know, and we played in some great test matches, and wow, brings back some great memories.
What did you love most about Artie?
He was great to his people, but he was straight down the line too. What Arthur said, Arthur did. We played at the cricket ground one day, forget what year it was, played England, and what's the name, that Colin Dixon, the English forward, hit Gary Stevens and just poleaxed him. And he was out, he was twitching like that. And Alfred, the trainer, ran out and he looked at him, he said, he's got to come off, he's got to come off. Arthur Beetson said, Alf, piss off. He's staying on here. When we finish here, you can have him. They packed the scrum, and as they packed the scrum, Arthur got Gary Stevens, put his head in the second row, and as they packed the scrum, Arthur just kicked, and he got the pommy, would have broke his jaw, got him by the jaw, and he took his head off. A big blue erupted, and we smashed him. Now Arthur Beetson wasn't gonna let his mate get hit like that, and they didn't pay for it. And to me, Arthur just went, wow. He was that type of bloke. And when we played, probably my best other memory of Arthur, when we played State of Origin, I ran out first with New South Wales. Then I heard a big roar, a big cheer from Queensland. Out come the great Arthur Beetson, 30-something years of age, over the hill, and all the white stuff on him. I knew then we were in trouble because Arthur, the first struck, just went whack, whack. And what a man, he was fantastic.
You had no idea what you'd walked into that night?
I didn't. It was 2 tries each and they just got us. But Arthur Beetson, that night, if Arthur Beetson doesn't play, Queensland don't win. They don't win. So, wow, he was exceptional.
I think family and football, they become one and the same for people like Artie and for you.
Yes.
You said that you hated the opposition, like they'd done something to your family.
Yes, I did.
Where did that come from? I mean, why are you so protective of your family?
I don't know, but it's just the way I am because I know when I was playing footy, the bloke in the side, the other bloke, was after my job. And he wasn't going to get it without a fight. I've done that to all them other halfbacks. They had to wait 10 years. I just had that, I just hated getting beaten. And I'd do anything to win. I mean that. I don't mean cheating, but I mean anything to win. Because it meant so much to me. And when I see some players today taking voluntary tackles, I can't believe it. But sometimes the players would get carried away. Les Boyd and somebody started fighting each other in the room. And we had to pull them apart. And,
but you want the blood up?
But we wanted the blood up and poor old Manly were next door listening to us. So they'd be shitting themselves. Fair dinkum.
Going back, Raudonikis, it's an unusual name, a Lithuanian name.
Yes, it is.
What values did your family instill in you that make you the man that we know and love today?
Oh, Mum and Dad come out from overseas in 1950. Mum was pregnant with me on the boat. And I was born at the Bathurst migrant camp. So I was brought up, but just like everybody else, they're brought up tough. They have hardships. Everybody has hardships. So I was no different. But it's just that it's something that I was part of. And I grew up with that. And I remember my brothers and sisters, if ever they got into trouble, in arguments or blues, I'd fight for them. And so I've always had that will to win, you know, that up and go. And I think our people of society today are losing that. We're losing that. And but anyway.
Were you treated like a migrant? Was your family treated like a migrant?
Well, I was brought up in Cowra. Not really, no, but it's like anything else in this world. In the town, I was brought up in Cowra. Great town, great people, but still, in that town, there was us and there was them. I mean that, and it hasn't changed. Like Western Suburbs era, under the great Roy Masters. It was us and it was them. Manly, Eastern Suburbs, hasn't changed. Broncos, have a look at them now, still the same. Us
You're right, it rings true today.
It is, it rings true. Broncos get all the favours. All the top people get the favours, not poor old western suburbs. I mean that sincerely.
You've always been fighting for the battler and fighting for the good fight.
And I'll always fight for the battler. You know, because I think the battler is hard done by.
What was Western Suburbs like in those days?
Wow.
Battlers?
They were battlers. Yeah. We had no money, but thank Christ Roy Masters came to the scene. He changed things. He made us believe that we were downtrodden, that the rich were the rich, we were the poor. But there were some people in the team who had a little bit more intelligence than some of the others. But Roy spoke to them, and mate, it was a great family. And when we used to play Manly and Eastern Suburbs, you talk about today, when we played East or Manly of a Sunday, they had to close the gates at 2:30 because they couldn't fit any more people in the ground. It was just packed with people. You couldn't move, and they loved it. They loved Western Suburbs, the battler. People used to get loud. Oh, wow. But we take the world on.
You did, you took the world on.
We took the world on. And I think, and if you can remember back to the day we played, who was it, down in Melbourne, in that charity match, Manly, we bashed them completely. It was thuggery, but we bashed them, and wow.
It was such a physical time, and some of the iconic moments, I mean, the face slapping, wow. just to each and your own, that's to your own teammates. Is that getting you ready for what the contest is going to be?
That was heating your body up, getting right. But sometimes the players would get carried away. Les Boyd and somebody started fighting each other in the room, and we had to pull them apart.
But you want the blood up.
But we wanted the blood up, and poor old Manly were next door, listening to us. So they'd be shitting themselves, fair dinkum. So
they didn't know what was going to come out of the dressing room.
They didn't have a clue.
You've played with some incredible men, hard men. You're one of them. Rugby League loves heroes and villains.
They do.
Celebrates them equally.
It doesn't change.
And it doesn't change.
No,
so which one are you? Are you the hero or are you the villain?
I was just Tommy Raudonikis. I just went out and did what I had to do. And come what may, forget the result, you know. And so I just went out and done my job.
You've made some incredible friendships along the way.
I certainly did. But I look back, and Western Suburbs got me down here. Noel Kelly, Newtown, Singer. He wanted a winner, so he bought me. Roy Masters, fantastic fellas. But now I'm with Singer, we're still mates. Roy, we're still mates. And that's great. It's one thing about Rugby League, and I don't think any other team's got it. Rugby League has got great friendship, great friendship, camaraderie, whatever you call it. It's got everything. We don't want to lose that. We want to keep our great game the way it is.
John Singleton, you've been friends for nearly 40 years.
Yeah,
who's been the bad influence, you or he?
John.
You blaming John?
Oh, he's a rat bag. And actually I've got they give me a share in a racehorse. We've got a couple of shares in some greyhounds, and but he's come up and seen me and when I was crook, but he's just a good bloke, John. But he's a good bloke to everybody, and we've had some fun. They tried to get me out of hospital there the other time.
You're still up to no good trying to break out of hospital.
In hospital.
Who stopped you? The nurses.
Nurses stopped us or something. But it's like everything they're all exaggerated, so let it build up and whatever. But look, he's a very kind man. But what got me and John together, I got a 14-week suspension. Jimmy Coleman's got me 14 weeks. I was playing reserve grade. So in that 14 weeks, Sino got me to promote fights. I was promoting fights. And I hired the Opera House. I bought fighters from overseas. And even that night, so it was a big success. But a big riot started in the ring. So again, everything turned up. But that made us very close because I counted for every penny and everything was done spot on, and we've become terrific mates. We've done the Kokoda Trail, we've done Mount Kinabalu, and we've gone on some great treks. So we've just built up a great friendship.
Tommy, you're a legend, but we know behind every legend there's an even better woman behind the scenes keeping everything together. Rugby League, there's lots of opportunities and women in the past, but you're lucky enough to have found the woman who's kept you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, I certainly did, Trish. I met her in New Zealand, but just over this period, she's been absolutely wonderful. She's a sticker. Like after I first got the cancer, I couldn't wash myself. She'd have to take me to the toilet, wash me, but never complained once. And she's a true champion. And well, I was very fortunate to have her.
What makes a good partnership?
Trust. But I say trust. I wasn't the best husband, but with Trish, it's just been, we're good mates. I can tell her what I tell her is fair dinkum. Same with her. And it's good stuff. And she's got the same interests. She loves the horses, she loves the dogs, loves the footy, loves everything. Perfect woman.
No wonder you love her.
I do. I love her very, very much. And she'll fight for you. Spud Carroll. Love Spud Carroll. He just went in there. Whack, whack, whack. Look at his lips. Joey Johns got knocked out. Spitting blood. Oh, it was beautiful. We got people, who cares? And that's what legends are made of.
You're Australian captain, club captain, leader of your state. You've had premierships, grand final games. What makes you the leader amongst men? What is it about you that people look at you and gravitate to you?
Because why? Is I'm what you see. I'm not false. If I wanted to go out and be Singo or Jack Gibson, pretend to be Jack Gibson, I would fail. I'm not a Jack Gibson. I'm not a Wayne Bennett. I'm a Tommy Raudonikis, erratic. I did some stupid things coaching, but I am what I am, and I can't change that. And I think that's where my success is. I say to people, be what you are. You can't change. I've been in trouble like that other footballer. I never got sent home on a kangaroo tour, and but I paid the penalty. And I copped the punishment, so I've done the same. But I've got no regrets. I'd do it all again.
I mean, you are unapologetic, and no one's perfect, and it's absolutely okay to make mistakes because that goes into building your character.
It does. You've got to make mistakes, but the player of today is a little bit different because they're on big money. They sign them contracts. And they know what they sign. But players change clubs through the year. Like I don't wear that. And so I think the player of today has dead set changed to what we were. And there's probably some, but anyway, that's the way it goes. And I know I'm not going to change.
Ask any New South Wales fan, you're the heart and soul of what it means to be an Origin player. And the cattle dog call goes right to the core of what it is. Why did it work so well?
Well, actually we got beat that game, but the thing is, the cattle dog was just great, and I just needed a call to bring to arms, go to war, fight, and so I put the cattle dog on, and actually the staff, the managers said to me, don't call the cattle dog call on. At half time I went out and I said, cattle dog's on. And Joey Johns looked at me and he went, and when the call came out, cattle dog's on. Beaver Menzies, not a bad bone in his body. Beavers looked up and he said, oh no, not the dreaded cattle dog. Bang, Spud Carroll. Love Spud Carroll. He just went in there, whack, 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 licking his lips. Joey Johns got knocked out, spitting blood. Oh, it was beautiful. We got people, who cares? And that's what legends are made of. And wow. So the cattle dog has been very good to me. And they still call me the cattle dog, even today. I love it.
It suits you.
Yeah, that's right. But like I said, I am the cattle dog. Any friend of mine, especially family, look, I love them very much. And if anybody does the wrong thing by my family, well.
And like a cattle dog, you don't play that well with others?
No, I don't, not at all. Not at all.
A testimony to your toughness is the fact that the modern player, the modern men running around in the game, in the NRL and in State of Origin, they still are in awe of you and what you were able to achieve. How does it make you feel when you sit down now and watch State of Origin and something that you helped create, the theatre and the drama that you helped create, those players now are still talking about the things that you did?
Look, I'm very proud of that. And I think back, Arthur's dead now. Me and Arthur started that. And if it wasn't for Arthur Beetson, where would that game be now? And what you're saying is true. Somehow or other, that stuck. Me and Arthur stuck. The cattle dog stuck. And look, I'm very proud of it and love every minute of it.
You've had a wonderful life in rugby league and we're so blessed to have seen you at the peak of your powers. Now you're going through your own health challenges. Yeah. Where are you at and how, I mean, you famously, you were inducted into the Hall of Fame and you said, boys, I've beaten cancer 3 times, you can beat Queensland 3 times.
That's
so,
right.
And we want you to live a long and happy life. So where are you at?
Look, not too bad. Go back about 6 months ago or a year ago, I was gone because the cancer had spread and actually it got around my carotid artery. Because see, I've had cancer of the testicles, I had 4 bypasses, cancer of the vocal cords, now cancer of the throat. But this last one, it went around the carotid artery and they couldn't have any more radiation or chemotherapy and they couldn't operate because one miss and I'm dead. So they had this one lot of thing going around and they said, Tom, do you want to be part of it? And actually it's the Tasman health thing, it's called. I just I'll put my hand up because, and what it's done, it's cut my cancer in half. It's cut all the rates back. So how lucky was I, again, when other people in Australia can't get on this drug. I'm the only person in Australia on this special drug. And it has improved me, you know. But you know what improves you more than anything? Is the people around you. Look, when I was in hospital, just quickly, it was a great journey. I met some wonderful people. And I met this lady come up to me one day before I went and had my chemotherapy. And she said, oh, are you that Tommy Raudonikis bloke? And I said, yes, I am. She said, I'd like you to meet my daughter. So she brought the daughter over. Her daughter was 31 years of age. She had terminal cancer. And then she used to come down from Townsville. But all she was, I was talking to her, and all she was worried about, forget the treatment, she just wanted to come down and watch the Broncos train. But I was taken in by this girl, 30-something years old, and actually it was just sort of shook me up a bit. But I've seen this every day. So there's a lot of sicker people out there than me and you and whatever. So in that way, it was a great journey. And I'm still going through it. And you learn a lesson or two.
And Rugby League's still there for you, Tom. It still loves you.
And the Rugby League people, I'd like to thank them, all those supporters, for all the good emails they sent. And thank you so much for your thoughts. They mean a lot, and it's been absolutely fantastic. But it has. I've still got a long way to go, but it's been a great journey.
A living legend. Tommy wanted to let you all know that his trial treatment is working, the cancer has shrunk, and he is absolutely loving life.